get calls and comments and questions all the time about, Andrew, where should I be investing? Can you help me with that? Where should I put my money? Where am I gonna get the most amount of cash flow? Today, I am here to break down the top 5 cities that you should be investing in 2023 to maximize your cash flow. Hey guys, I'm Andrew Lewis, real estate investor and entrepreneur with over 10 years experience building and growing a real estate team and investing in real estate. Before we dive into today's video, make sure that you hit that like button, leave a comment below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. I am here to help you break out of the 9-to-5, gain financial freedom, and grow wealth through real estate. Let's dive in. Today, let's dive into those top 5 places that you should be putting your money in 2023. Every year, this changes based off of different economic models and different things that we look at. But for 2023, here are the top 5 places for you to put your money and maximize your cash flow. Number 1, Cleveland, Ohio. This used to be a huge manufacturing hub in the United States, and at one time was the 5th largest city in the United States. It's shrunk a little bit population-wise as some of that manufacturing has shifted out of the area. It's now the 53rd largest in the US, but we've seen a ton of money poured into the area since about 2010 to really revitalize the area, grow things. It's home to a big sports franchise like the Cleveland Cavaliers, and we're starting to see some growth back in the area. The good news is, prices are down, and that makes for a great cash flow opportunity. So let's dig into the numbers just a bit. One of the things we like to look at is the price to rent ratio. For Cleveland, that is 7.8 is your ratio. That's a really great ratio. It just means that you are going to be able to acquire a property for relatively inexpensive and be able to bring in some great rents. How much can $100,000 get you? A $100,000 investment there can get you right around $1,000 a month in income. Another thing we love to look at are the tenant laws. Is it landlord friendly or tenant friendly? Cleveland, Ohio is very landlord friendly. So that is good news, my friends. The law is mostly on your side there. We're seeing that change in certain parts of the country. So we always like to look out for that. What I like about Cleveland, Ohio right now are 3 things. Number 1, that price to rent ratio is excellent. Number 2, you can acquire properties very inexpensively for the area relative to the rest of the United States. And number 3, I think we are really starting to see a turnaround here in this area. So I think if you invest today, you are gonna see great returns today, but even greater going into the future. So number 1, Cleveland, Ohio, put your money there. Number 2, Birmingham, Alabama. This was once an industrial powerhouse in the US. We have seen some things change and shift over time. Because of that, there's been some decline in population in the area over the last 20 to 30 years, but the good news is there is some healthcare, some technology, things like that moving into the area that are showing signs that there is a possible turnaround coming with this city, and we're starting to see a little bit more growth and some revitalization in some of those areas. So I think things are looking incredibly positive for Birmingham, and that's why it makes number 2 on our list. So let's take a look at the numbers. Again, we start with that rent to price ratio. Birmingham, Alabama coming in at 8.4 for that rent to price ratio. That is a great number and actually one of the higher on our list today. So great news there. How much can you get a home for that will generate $1,000 a month? That is just like before, $100,000 will typically on average generate for you $1,000 a month in income on a rental property. And how does Birmingham, Alabama stack up on the landlord versus tenant laws? This is a landlord-friendly area. So again, you are going to have much more friendly on the landlord side. Parts of the country are shifting away from that, but a good place to own an investment property. Most of it is directed your way. Now, what I like about the area is, number 1, that it is one of the highest price to rent ratios in all of the United States. So that is a great thing to look out for. It's low affordability, so you can get in there relatively inexpensively. And for the most part here, over the last 10 to 15 years, we've seen a pretty stable population there. So not a huge fluctuation, so it feels like a very safe place to put your money with a low cost of investment, and you're gonna have one of the best ratios in the country, a a great place to put your money for this year. Number 3 on today's list is Dayton, Ohio. Another Ohio city. This one's located about 200 miles southwest of Cleveland. This area, again, has seen some declines from some of the mid-century growth that they've seen. And so we've seen a shrinking population there in the area, but that has been counterbalanced by some urban redevelopment, some infrastructure developments, as well as some park improvements, things like that. And we've also started to see some major investments in healthcare and education coming into the area. So again, another area that's poised for some growth, or at least some stability as far as population goes. So because of the affordability, this one makes number 3 on our list. Let's take a look at the numbers. The price to rent ratio for Dayton, Ohio is 9.3. So one of the higher ones that we've seen. And the cost for $1,000 in rental income is $111,000 for the area. So again, a relatively inexpensive area to get into, a little bit of a smaller market than some of the other ones that we've talked about, but again, easy to get into, low price point. This is another very landlord-friendly area. As you would expect, if Cleveland is landlord-friendly, then Dayton, Ohio would also be landlord-friendly. So rules and laws are going to land in the landlord's favor. And again, that is a great thing for you because you know that your money is safe and you can count on consistent rents and cash flow in the area. What I like about the area is excellent price to rent ratio. Again, that number is one of the higher that we've seen, and great low prices, so less money out of your pocket, earning you more dollars. That's what we all want as real estate investors. We want as few dollars out of our pocket and maximize what's coming in monthly, and you're definitely getting that here. Next on the list is Memphis, Tennessee. This is an area that has not actually declined in population over the years. So the first one on our list that has not declined in population. So we've seen steady growth over the years, and that is mainly due to the logistics and shipping aspect of the city. FedEx houses its hub there. It makes it the second largest place in the world for cargo hubs. We've got companies like Nike and Amazon starting to work on their logistics and using that as a distribution center to get their products out to the east coast of the country. So this is an area that has a lot of jobs, a lot of growth, and some big names in the area that can give you assurance that you're going to be making cash flow for years to come. Let's look at the numbers. So the price to rent ratio for Memphis, Tennessee is 10.6. So a great ratio. How much do you have to spend to get $1,000 in rental income? That number is just $126,000 to generate $1,000 in rental income. So again, you've got a great price to rent ratio as well as a low investment for the area. So how does Memphis, Tennessee stack up on the landlord versus tenant law side of things? This is actually known to be a pretty balanced area. So about 50-50 on what falls for the tenant, what falls for the landlord. Again, that's kind of the very minimum of what we like to see on the investment side. So it's still a plus. What I like about the area is the price to rent ratio. Obviously, that is great news for us investors. Also, the stability of the population. This isn't an area that we are relying on potential future growth. It has shown growth over the years, and we've got some major companies that are housing their warehouses there and using those for shipping logistics areas. So you don't really have to worry about somebody that's not going to have a job in the area. So a little bit more stability on the employment side of things as well. That means you are getting paid as an investor every single month with a little bit more assurance, knowing that your tenant's gonna make rent on time. Number 5 on the list is Augusta, Georgia. This area is known for biotech and cybersecurity and has seen very steady population growth over the last decade, adding 40,000 more people to their population in just 10 years. Some great growth and some great stability with some of those large tech companies coming into the area. So this one definitely makes the list. Let's dive into the numbers. The price to rent ratio for Augusta, Georgia is 11.8. That is the best we've got on our list today. So you are going to be cash flowing there for sure. Now, to get $1,000 a month in rental income, you will need to spend a little bit more than some of the areas that we've been looking at. That number for Augusta, Georgia is $141,000. So how does Augusta, Georgia stack up on the landlord and tenant side of things as far as the law goes? This is actually another landlord-friendly area. So you can rest assured that if there becomes some sort of issue, typically they're going to side with the landlord on some things. So a stable area, a safe area to put your money. So what do I like about Augusta, Georgia? Is number one, the population growth. That is great news. It provides stability and security for you as an investor. I love that this is built on areas of growth for the future as far as biotech and cybersecurity. Those aren't going anywhere in the near future. So again, it's gonna bring in some more population, bring in some more dollars into the area. And I love the landlord-friendly laws here in the area. So that is it for our top 5 cities to invest in 2023. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have questions about any of these areas, feel free to reach out. We would love to answer questions for you there. Be sure to hit that like button. Leave us a comment below. Any other stats you'd like to know about the areas, we would be happy to share. And as always, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. I am here to help you break out of the 9 to 5, gain financial freedom, and grow wealth through real estate. We'll see you next time.